I got to start with what the Jets. You're a defensive stalwart. You've been in this league just about a decade. When you hear a team say, "We have the signals. We knew what Stafford was doing," what do you think?
Teams do a lot of research to try to get all that stuff, TV copies, everything. So very rare do you get all that, I think, because of how much offenses and different teams switch up and do stuff. So definitely a little rare comment that you heard there after the game.
Have you ever felt going into a game, though, you've been in that much of an advantageous situation against an opponent?
I've always felt we knew some things. Our staff does a good job. But I don't know if it was to the extent of how they kind of describe how they felt going into the game and then throughout the game. That was a little different.
Yeah, I got to believe the Lions are back to square one today, especially what they might have been tipping. A lot of things I want to talk to you about as a defensive player. The leading with the helmet, lowering your head rule. What has that meant to you? We didn't see a lot in week one, but what has it meant to you coming into this season?
I've tried not to pay attention to it too much. I think as a player, you just got to go play. Bill talks about it all the time. He says we don't teach that way to tackle here. And I think as a player, you just go play. And I think I've never been a guy that's had to deal with, helmet-to-helmet hits. So it really hasn't changed my game at all.
As you watched the preseason, did you think it was being officiated correctly?
I thought they tried to really get the point across. And I think all of us watching were hoping that it wouldn't be called like that exactly once the regular season, but felt they want to, put an emphasis on it throughout the preseason. And I felt like that's how it kind of turned out after week one with not that many penalties.
Yeah, let me turn to the personal with you. Last time you and I talked, your brother had just been acquired by the Patriots, I believe, in a trade, and it came to fruition. In fact, we had two sets of twins playing together on the same team, the Griffin twins as well. What was it like to be out there with your brother Jason yesterday?
It was awesome. I think it really started in pregame for us, seeing our mom on the sideline, and she had a bedazzled split jersey, white and blue, 30-32 on it. And just to see how happy she was, for us once we got to playing, it was just like back in the day when we were in Pop Warner, but seeing her face and how excited she was in pregame, I think that meant everything for us.
You guys try any pranks, given the fact you got a pair of twins running around the team?
It's hard because Bill doesn't know us apart, so it's kind of too easy to prank him. He'll probably just curse us out if he sees we do a prank.
That's okay. He's got the rings to fall back on. Let's talk about Players Coalition, which is what exactly what we talked about here last time, and the reason we've invited you here today. And what do you make of the fact that the NFL is not enforcing an anthem policy? We're still, though, in some eyes, in the scorekeeping section, how many guys are kneeling. With the NFL attitude towards not enforcing a policy, but that policy's up on the shelf. What's your take on that?
I think they've talked to the players. I think for us, nothing is set in stone. Things are always subject to change. But I know here in New England, I've had numerous conversations with Jonathan and Robert Kraft just about the different topics, the subjects, whether it's the whole cash bail system of having, 70% of people in jail right now, not convicted. And then Jonathan went with us when we kind of learned a little bit about the juvenile system. We went and lobbied to raise the age of the juvenile system so kids 7 years old wouldn't be prosecuted. So I think they got to see those issues and not just the protests and all those things, but actually see the issues that players care about. And for us, some of those issues were exactly the same as what they care about.
Yeah, buy-in from the ownership. The calendar tells us and our hearts tell us it is September 11th. It's so many years. You were, what, a 14-year-old high school kid in Jersey. What are your recollections of that day?
Mm-hmm. It was a crazy day. I actually went to high school with Andrew Giuliani, Mayor Giuliani's son. So I remember all of us just evacuating the school that day because about 35 to 40 minutes outside of New York City, and just seeing the Secret Service come to get him and make sure he was safe. It was a hectic day. I think all of us, at that age, didn't really understand what was going on, why something like this would happen. So even to this day, when you think back about it and being pulled out of school, I think it was a very humbling night. So it was something we had to all get over.